capital murder charges.
Texas Attorney General faces 20 articles of impeachment for several crimes, including abuse of office.
And the Victoria College president discusses the nursing shortage in Texas.
We are looking at a nice summer-like weekend. Temperatures are going to be around 90 for Saturday and Sunday. Monday is Memorial Day, right? I got a chance for rain on Monday, and we'll be talking more about that coming up.
And this year, the city of Victoria had a record-breaking number of soccer signings. We hear from 4 of them in sports.
You're watching 25 News now at 10. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Don Brubaker.
And I'm Karina Garcia.
An Amber Alert was issued yesterday just before 5 p.m. for 2 missing girls. 2-year-old Zyla Folks and 9-year-old Camille Brown Sykes were last seen in the 3200 block of Bullmore Drive in San Antonio. The suspect is 29-year-old Julio Nahar Trevino. He has hazel eyes and brown hair. If you have any information, call 210-207-7660. Police said a 4-year-old boy has been pronounced dead after being found unconscious in a vehicle in North Houston Friday. Authorities say they received a call of a child being locked inside a vehicle at around 4:30 p.m. Friday. When they arrived, they learned that a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old had gotten inside a parked vehicle at a home. KPRC reports the 4-year-old was unresponsive and was taken to the hospital by family members, where he was pronounced dead. The 2-year-old was responsive and was taken to the hospital.
Authorities in East Texas have jailed an 18-year-old on capital murder charges. He's accused of shooting his parents, sister, and brother. On Tuesday, police in Nash near the Arkansas state line responded to a report of a man who had harmed his family and was threatening to kill himself. That's where they found Cesar Olalde barricaded inside a house. He later called police saying he shot his family because they were trying to eat him and they were cannibals. Officers persuaded him to surrender and found the bodies of his parents, older sister, and younger brother in the bathroom. He is now held on a $10 million bond. A reminder to slow down and drive safely this Memorial Day weekend. Just after 11 a.m., police were busy with a crash in the 10,000 block of Zatlins Parkway. One woman was hurt and had to go to the hospital, but she's expected to be okay. Police say one of the drivers involved failed to yield the right way. The Texas Attorney General is facing major rebuke from his own party. The GOP-controlled House will vote Saturday, tomorrow, on 20 impeachment articles against Ken Paxton.
The Attorney General faces accusations of abusing his office, and the Texas House sets Saturday afternoon at 1 to vote on Paxton's impeachment.
One of the most controversial politicians in Texas is facing impeachment.
This shameful process was curated from the start as an act of political retribution.
Republican Ken Paxton has been the state's attorney general since 2014, but a Texas House committee led by fellow Republicans is accusing Paxton of a litany of criminal acts, including bribery, obstruction of justice, dereliction of duty. 20 articles of impeachment in all filed against him. The charges brought by the Texas House General Investigating Committee detail alleged violations by the AG and a request for more than $3 million of public money to pay a legal settlement to whistleblowers who worked as top deputies in the AG's office. They revolted against Paxton in 2020. There are also bribery charges with a top campaign donor that involved an alleged affair. In a statement, Paxton says the allegations are politically motivated and based on, quote, hearsay and gossip, and also added that corrupted politicians in the Texas House are actively destroying Texas's position as the most powerful backstop against the Biden agenda in the entire country.
Every politician who supports this deceitful impeachment attempt will inflict lasting damage on the credibility of the Texas House.
Paxton has been under indictment for felony securities violations since taking office. He's also under FBI investigation for his actions connected to the articles of impeachment. Paxton has denied all wrongdoing, and Texas voters have re-elected him as Attorney General twice. And along the way, he's garnered the support of a major ally.
He loves this state and he loves this country. Attorney General Ken Paxton.
And taking a page out of the Trump playbook, Paxton blames the looming impeachment fight on liberal factions in the Texas Republican Party. One Texas state representative predicts Paxton will be impeached by the Texas House, but is calling on the Texas Senate to refuse to hold an impeachment trial.
No one has any evidence that he did anything wrong. It's all allegations. It's all allegations. And so, yeah, this is political retribution is all it is. This is a complete sham.
If the impeachment passes in the Texas House with a majority vote, it moves on to the Senate, where the Attorney General's wife, State Senator Angela Paxton, could be among those voting on his potential impeachment.
Paxton has urged his supporters to peacefully rally on his behalf at the state capitol tomorrow afternoon while the House takes the vote.
Hey, let's take a first look at your forecast with First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Mac Pettis. We're getting ready for the Memorial Day weekend, Mac, and we want
those barbecues are coming.
Yeah, here we go.
Oh yeah, I can hear the barbecue pits lighting already, you know. Yes, sirree, we've got a pretty good looking weekend for us here in the Crossroads and the Coastal Bend. We're doing fine. We're going to do fine for Saturday and Sunday. Monday, some of that stuff from down south is going to be getting close to us, and I think we may have some showers on Monday. I'll get more details on that and take a look at your 7-day, all that coming up in just a moment. Back to you.
Mac, thank you. The nursing shortage in our state is a growing concern. Victoria College is working to fill the gap. Victoria College President Dr. Jennifer Kent says they have a new innovative solution to address the nursing shortage in the Crossroads to partner with UHV, helping to train and retain nurses in the Crossroads.
Over 80% of our nurses stay right here and work in the region, even 10 years after they graduate. These are the healthcare providers of the Crossroads. We're very excited about that, and we are determined to be that solution. One of the pieces of this is actually a partnership with UHV, University of Houston Victoria, and that will entail students being enrolled simultaneously at both Victoria College and UHV. When they graduate in 2 years with their associate degree in nursing to become an RN, it's possible to actually graduate with their bachelor's degree in nursing at the same time.
In order to make room for the additional clinical spaces needed for students enrolling this new hybrid track, VC plans to incorporate some evening and weekend rotations into the clinical schedule for all its allied health students. A Texas grand jury has indicted 33-year-old Patrick Clark for the murder of rapper Takeoff. Patrick Clark was arrested in connection with the December killing of the Migos rap member. Takeoff was shot to death outside a private party at a bowling alley in Houston. The city's police chief said an argument led to the shooting. Clark's defense attorney said the indictment was expected, but adds she expects the jury to come back with a not guilty verdict. Clark is currently being held on a $1 million bond.
Police in Maine seized more than 47,000 milligrams of fentanyl, enough for nearly 24,000 deadly doses. Police pulled over a car on Sunday and found drug paraphernalia, but no drugs. A K-9 sniffed out the drugs from the growing area of one of the 3 suspects. Marilena Rodriguez, she and 2 others were arrested and charged with aggravated trafficking in fentanyl. A 4th man was in the car but was released without charges. If convicted, each defendant could face up to 30 years in prison with a fine of $50,000. A South Korean airline and government leaders say a passenger opened an emergency exit door during a flight in South Korea. 12 people were slightly hurt. The incident occurred as the plane was nearing its destination to Daegu at an altitude of 700 feet. The person was unidentified and was detained by airport police after the plane landed safely.
He must have been trying to get off. Suddenly, he tried to get off and the crew went, "Help, help." So about 10 passengers went and pulled him back. The exit at the farthest back was open and we flew with that open for 3 to 5 minutes and then landed. The children were so shocked. Yes, they were so shocked. I was sitting at the far back, so I didn't know, but when I got off, the kids expressed dizziness.
Those 12 people were taken to hospitals in minor conditions.
The Victoria County Veterans Council will host its annual Memorial Day ceremony Monday. The ceremony begins at 11 o'clock a.m. at De Leon Plaza, downtown Victoria. There will be a ringing of the bell as names of deceased veterans are read aloud. The council then will have a wreath-laying ceremony. Warriors Weekend will host its Memorial Day services at 8:15 Monday night at the Field of Honor next to Parkway Church, 4802 North John Stockbauer Drive. There will be a flag retirement and a reading of the 441 names of Golden Crescent Patriots who have been killed in action while serving in the military.
Gas prices in the Crossroads much lower for the Memorial Day weekend than they were a year ago. AAA Texas reports the average gas price in Victoria County is $2.99 a gallon. That is $1.25 less than the average gas price on Memorial Day weekend 2022. The lowest average gas price in the Crossroads, Goliad County at $2.95 a gallon. AAA reports Texas average gas price $3.13 a gallon. And so this brings us to your viewer poll. Scan that QR code on your screen to vote now. The question is, are you more likely to travel this Memorial Weekend holiday due to cheaper gas prices? Yes or no? We take a look at these results and 12% say yes and 88% say no.
A little surprised on that.
Oh yeah, maybe they're staying in for the barbecues instead of going
good
out.
Point.
So,
Yeah.
But either way, thank you for voting tonight.
Memorial Day road trips are up 6% over last year in Texas. TxDOT reminding motorists and their passengers to click it or ticket this holiday weekend. From today through Sunday, June 4th, law enforcement from around the state will be ticketing motorists who are not buckled up. State law requires that every person in a vehicle be secured by a seatbelt, whether riding in the front or back seat. Fines and court costs for failing to fasten seatbelts can add up to $250 or more. Stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 10. A Mississippi officer shot and killed an 11-year-old boy in his own home.
Also ahead, Dadeville High School seniors graduate 1 month after a deadly party shooting.
25 News Now brings you Storm Prep 2023. Your first warned storm team will take us through this year's hurricane predictions. Chief Meteorologist Mac Perez speaks with descendants of Indianola, a town that was wiped out from back-to-back hurricanes. Adarius McCormick explains just how simple evacuating really is. June 5th on KAVU TV at 6:30 p.m. Storm Prep 2023. Stream it live or on demand on Crossroads Today Plus. View it and our Crossroads Today YouTube page.
By now, you may have heard about the 11-year-old boy who was shot by a police officer in Mississippi earlier this week. Here's a picture of the officer who reportedly fired at the child. Greg Capers is an Indianola, Mississippi police officer. On Saturday, 11-year-old Adrian Murray was shot in the chest after he called 911 about a domestic disturbance call at his home. He was released from the hospital and is recovering. His family has called for the officer to be fired and charged in the shooting.
In Minnesota, nearly 300 hospital workers signed a petition for better working conditions. These surgery workers from 2 different hospitals delivered the petition to Mayo Clinic's executives Thursday morning. They're asking for better worker-patient safety policies, as well as a plan to deal with staffing shortages, specifically excessive overtime hours and lack of breaks. The petition also demands executives commit to meetings with employees.
We have the understanding that there are some cases that can't be postponed or rescheduled. However, until the staffing improves, training will suffer, and we believe that will cause employee and safety risks.
In response, the Mayo Clinic says it investigated and did not find anything to substantiate the claims of unsafe practices. Hospital leaders added they are committed to staff and providing high-quality, safe patient care. A little over a month has passed since the shooting at a Sweet 16 party in Alabama left 4 people dead.
2 of those killed would have graduated from high school this week, but instead their families accepted the diplomas.
Among those remembered, Phil Dowdell, who was set to graduate this year and attend Jacksonville State University, where he would have been a member of the school's football team. His mother accepted his diploma on Thursday night. Dadeville High School senior Kiki Smith would have also graduated. Smith's family accepted her diploma as well. What would normally be a happy time of year overshadowed by tragedy, but nevertheless, the community says it's important to keep moving forward.
I think if those 2 young people were here today, they would tell you that we did the right thing. They would want us to pull together for their senior class, to pull together. It's a close-knit senior class. So for them to pull together, finish the year, they're with them in spirit.
I know it's hard for the mother, but I feel like as long as she's surrounded by kind community people and her relatives and all the students who call her on a daily basis, which I'm sure that's what keeps her going.
Another student remembered Marcia Collins, who would have graduated and attended LSU this fall. The 4th victim in the shooting, Corbin Holston, graduated from Dadeville High School a few years back.
Heavy rain in Nebraska today prompted several water rescues. One person captured video of the flooding and of first responders rescuing people trapped in their homes. A father and son traveling through the area to pick up a load of cattle took a detour because of this flooding. The National Weather Service reported several road closures across 2 counties.
Of course, in different parts of the country, it's different things happening. Here we are, the long holiday weekend, and things are looking pretty good for a couple of days. 75 is the current temperature. We managed to get up to 91 degrees today, which is about where we're going to be through the weekend. However, Monday has a little bit of chance of rain. Yes, I said it, and I'll explain it coming up in just a moment.
Here's a look at what's coming up on Community Crossroads. We hear a May 6th election recap. We hear from the elections administrator for Victoria County. We learn about a Juneteenth celebration in Perla Vaca, and we take a look at your viewer poll.
This is where you get an opportunity to let your child now be involved with somebody else's child, or let the children be involved in the activities going on. And this is how we kind of create a legacy.
Well, good evening, everyone. It's Friday night. Yes, it's a big long weekend. If you were driving somewhere, you probably already left, right? So those of you that are sitting there watching are probably going to stay in town. We call it a staycation, you know, kind of like we're going to the backyard. Things are looking good for us for a couple of days. Very summer-like, very temperatures around where they're supposed to be this time of year, and instead of the super heat that we had last year. But while we in the Crossroads and the Coastal Bend are going to be doing well, Far West Texas is going to be under the gun for daily afternoon thunderstorms. Big ones, okay? Places like, we talked about it, Clovis, New Mexico, covered the ground in hail. Unbelievable. And the temperature dropped, to freezing, I think. But as you can see, the dry line is continuing that instability. Here is Friday night, right about now. Storms coming out of that area. They're moving away and eastward. When they get generally about to the Austin line, they fall apart because they have no, the sun goes down, there's no instability. But then again, tomorrow afternoon, another line for Saturday will occur. Now that's for 2 days. And then we watch and wait. Sunday night, watch down south. You see that, okay, right about there. That is the one that's coming in on Monday. Now, Monday is Memorial Day. A lot of people are going to be out. Some people are going to be going to observations, memorials, and I've got a chance for some rain. You see that little spin right there? That's the reason for having to increase the amount of rain possible as we get to Monday. I'm sorry to inform you that, but that's where we're at. As I mentioned, Far West Texas under tornado watch even as we speak, because these big thunderstorms are just howling. Now, if you're driving west, Midland, Odessa, Lubbock, all those areas, Far West Texas is going to be under the gun for big storms, so do watch out what time you're driving, because they're all going to be in the late afternoon. Meanwhile, there's an area of low pressure, looks like a tropical storm, but it's not. Nonetheless, it's going to bring a big pile of rain to much of the Carolinas over this weekend. Now for us here, it's going to be terrific, especially tomorrow morning for all you mariners and fishermen. Our high tide is at 3 in the afternoon, our low tide is at 5 in the morning, but our winds are fairly light, only 5 to 10, maybe 15 miles an hour. So that light wind gives us a 2-foot sea, which is great if you're in a boat. And if you're out on the bay, the waters are going to be on the smooth side, so very nice going. Now, those of you going down to Port Lavaca, Calhoun County over the weekend, just consider you're getting up at 69, your afternoon temperature getting up to 86, and then, of course, our extended outlook. 90 degrees for Saturday, about the same for Sunday, and here's the problem. Okay, we had to increase that up to 40% of afternoon showers on Monday because of that little spinner thing that I showed you. The rain chance actually continues through Tuesday and Wednesday until that low moves away. So if you have an event on Monday, just check in with 5 and 6 o'clock. We'll be here to let you know the latest. We've got a QR code. We want you to take a photo of this and scan it and put Crossroads Today on your phone, and we can let you know what's happening on Monday. That's the forecast, and now we'll toss it over to Mr. Gino with sports.
Thanks, Mac. The lone Victoria athlete to make it to state for track and field is heading to a Division I school. We hear from him after the break. At Crossroads, Victoria athletes are getting ready for the next big step of their lives as they sign to play a college sport this upcoming fall. Four Victoria soccer stars signed their letters of intent to continue playing on the pitch in various locations around the country, bringing the total number of soccer athletes who have signed to 7, which is a record in a one-year period. Victoria East's Nicholas Alfara moved to Victoria a couple years ago and will be a backup goalkeeper for Colleyville College in Kansas for now.
Where I come from, like for my mom taking me to like Dallas just for an hour practice, so a 2-hour drive. Because honestly, if without my mom and dad, I wouldn't be where I am today. It's just the stepping stones they put for me, and now I'm just trying to create the path.
He plans on majoring in mechanical engineering, and his goals for his freshman year is to develop, learn more, and impact the team on and off the field. Heading over to Victoria West, Sofia Vedestegi followed her heart and ended up heading to Northeast Texas Community College to play soccer as a forward. She made the best of her senior season after what was nearly a career-ending injury against Flower Bluff.
I think I did a hell of a job, honestly. I knew coming into my senior year that I had to pick it up because of, redemption from last year. I wasn't going to do the same mistakes that I did last year, and this year was going to be different, and that's what I did. I made this year.
Vedestegi wants to be a physical therapist assistant and go to practice every day and be a good example for the team. Also heading to Northeast Texas Community College's Fernando Rojas and his twin brother Armando Rojas will be joining a few other Victoria soccer athletes at Wiley College. The two are excited for the next level and ready to get on the field.
They're happy for me. They support me going to win. We're not going to college. They're happy that I'm getting education, so they support me. Just to pass my classes and respect. Yeah, if I don't start the first year, I'll be fine with that. I just want to learn and grow as a player.
The twin brothers will be splitting up, but will not be too far away from each other. The two will be about an hour away. Another Victoria athlete signed his letter of intent to run track and field at a Division I school. Matthew Jackson will be trying something new at Sam Houston State University. This season, he jumped from a personal best record of 23 feet and 2 inches in long jump, along with a 6 foot 7 inch high jump. He reached out to Howells College to see if he could compete, and they made him an offer, and now he will compete in a decathlon, which he said will put him in the best shape of his life.
My goals would definitely be learning all of the new things that I'm going to have to do. And on top of that, trying to get at least a little bit of perfection out of them. That way maybe I can do multiple things at conference, maybe score some points as a freshman. That would be awesome.
Jackson wants to major in construction site management. A few of the events he will be competing in, his two best events, of course, are long jump and high jump, along with javelin, pole vault, discus, and a 1,500-meter run, along with a few others. Well, that's your sports. Don and Karina, back to you.
Thanks, Junana. Stay with us. Coming up on 25 News now at 10, we'll take a last look at your weather. Plus, a man in Mississippi rescued a baby gator who was found with his mouth taped shut.
commencement speaker at a Boston University graduation ceremony provided words of wisdom and gave the graduating class each $1,000. Every graduate received 2 envelopes and each contained $500 from billionaire Rob Hale. Hale said one envelope, which said gift on it, was for themselves. The other envelope, which said give, was for them to give away. 2 years ago, Rob Hale gave graduates from Quincy College $1,000 each. Those students saying, "Hale, yes." The Memorial Day travel rush well underway and shaping up to be one of the busiest in decades. AAA reports more than 40 million people expected to take to the skies and highways this weekend. That's an increase of 7% from last year. More than 3 million people will be flying. The highways packed as well, with car travel rising by 6% to just over 37 million, an increase of 2 million from 2022. And we hope everyone out there has a safe and grateful holiday weekend for all the people that lost their lives to support our liberty and freedom out there. And hopefully they'll be driving around and having lovely weather this weekend.
So it's a memorial to those who didn't come back from the wars. So yeah, have a great time, barbecue and all that stuff, but just stop and think for a minute about the reason for that. All right, folks, well, we've got some good weather for Saturday, Sunday. Lots of sun, lots of heat, about 90, 91 degrees. And it's just that we've had to add, as of today, a chance for showers on Monday. That is Memorial Day, and there will be some observations. So check with us on Monday at 5 and 6. I believe Karina will be here to let everybody know what's happening with the weather on that day.
Alrighty, well, Mac, thank you so much. Now, a baby alligator was spotted in Bay St. Louis, Mississippi with its mouth taped shut. A wildlife control company responded and a worker found the gator hiding in a drainage ditch and fished it out of the ditch. The tape was then removed and the reptile was relocated. Now, it's not clear who taped the gator's mouth, but some witnesses say the gator was spotted near where children were swimming. So the people there, they probably taped its mouth shut to keep it from hurting them. However, that wasn't yet confirmed and they're still investigating there, but tough situation.
That guy has one job that's rather interesting.
Yeah, you see him jumping there?
Jump, chase the alligator.
Brave guy. Alrighty, well, thank you for joining us for 25 News Now at 10. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today.
And join our Adam Seibel this weekend on 25 News Now, Saturday and Sunday. And from all of us here, have a wonderful, safe, and grateful Memorial Day weekend.